Get ready to dive deep, everyone, because today we're talking Luscious Cosmetics. This brand is seriously shaking things up in the beauty world.
And we're not just talking about their makeup.
Right.
It's way more than that.
Yeah. It's their whole mission, their story. So, how did this brand even get started?
Well, it actually started with a pretty relatable problem, believe it or
Yeah.
not.
Oh, tell me more.
So the founder, Maripano Sethi, she had this experience, like a lot of us, trying to find makeup.
I feel like I know where this is going,
And it's something that I think resonates with a lot of people, especially,
especially if you don't fit the mold of what like traditional beauty brands typically cater to,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And for Sethi, it was trying to find makeup that actually worked for South Asian skin tones.
I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been. Like, hello, we love makeup too.
Right. It's about feeling seen, feeling represented, and that's where her vision for Luscious Cosmetics came in.
Okay, so she saw this gap in the market, this huge need for inclusive beauty products. But I mean, starting a makeup brand anywhere is a challenge, let alone in a market that's already flooded with those big international names.
Absolutely. And you also have to remember, at the time, the local industry in Pakistan wasn't as developed as it is now, so she was really up against it.
That's true. So how did she break through all of that? How did Luscious make a name for itself?
Well, they could have tried to compete on price alone, but they chose a different path.
I like where this is going.
They went all in on product development, like seriously high-quality stuff, and of course, that unwavering dedication to inclusivity.
So smart. They addressed the challenges head on by creating something truly unique. And that brings us to what everyone's calling the luscious difference.
It's funny you say that because it's more than just a tagline. It's really at the core of their brand.
Totally. They weren't afraid to create this huge range of shades, specifically for South Asian complexions.
And looking back, it's almost shocking that so many global brands still struggle with that.
Right. It's like, come on, guys, it's not that hard. But you know what else really impressed me about Luscious?
What's that?
Their commitment to being vegan and cruelty-free. I mean, that's still pretty rare, especially back then, and it showed me right away that they cared about ethical sourcing and animal welfare.
It was a bold move, for sure, and it really set them apart from the competition.
Totally. It showed that they were about more than just making a profit, they were about making a difference.
Absolutely. And that's something that really resonates with consumers today, that alignment between values and actions. It builds trust.
Okay, so we've talked about the why behind Luscious, but now I want to know about the products
Let's
themselves.
do it. What are you most curious about?
Well, I've heard amazing things about their camera stick foundation, like that it was a total game changer.
Oh, it definitely caused a stir,
Yeah.
especially for women with medium to deep skin tones.
Because finally, there was a product that actually matched their skin tone. It must have felt like a revelation.
Right. And it wasn't just about finding your shade. The quality was amazing, too. This was high-performance makeup without that luxury price tag.
It's amazing how one product can have such a ripple effect, you know? It really put them on the map. But the camera stick wasn't their only success story, was it?
Not even close. They have a whole lineup now, and each product launch seemed to reinforce their commitment to offering high-quality, inclusive makeup at a price that wouldn't break the bank.
For example, their contouring palette and brow kit, those became instant classics, right?
Absolutely. Those are huge.
It's like they were tapping into that desire for, like, accessible luxury.
Totally. You didn't have to spend a fortune to get those, like, really polished, professional-looking results.
Exactly. And what's so cool is that they didn't just stop there, you know? They kept going, kept innovating,
Oh, yeah, for sure. They didn't just rest on their laurels. They branched out.
which is so important, especially in the beauty industry. You got to
Agree.
stay ahead of the game.
Right. Like, they could have easily just stayed in their lane, focused on foundation and face makeup, but they didn't. They expanded into eyeshadows, mascara.
They even have a whole skincare line now, right?
They do. And it just goes to show that they're really in tune with what their customers want. They're listening, they're adapting. And that's a recipe for success right there.
It's that deep understanding of their market, that connection they've built. It's more than just selling makeup. It's about building a community.
Exactly. And speaking of community, I think it's worth highlighting Luscious's commitment to giving back. I mean, it's one of the things that really drew me to them.
Me too. Their philanthropic work, especially supporting women's health and education in Pakistan, it really speaks volumes about their values.
Right. It shows that they're not just in it for themselves.
It's like they're saying, we're here to make a real difference, which is so powerful.
And I think that resonates with so many people, especially now. People want to support brands that align with their values, brands
Yeah.
that are doing good in the world.
It's that authenticity. It shines through in everything they do, from their products to their social impact.
Totally. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Okay, so we've talked about Luscious's beginnings, their amazing products, their commitment to giving back. But let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture, the Pakistani beauty market. It's booming right now.
It really is. It's gone through such a transformation, even just the last few years.
There's this whole new generation of beauty consumers in Pakistan, right? They're more discerning, more informed, more connected to global trends.
Absolutely. They're on social media. They're following international influencers. They know what's happening in the beauty world, and they want those options.
And in the midst of all this excitement, all this growth, you have Luscious not just surviving, but thriving.
It's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they're up against some serious competition, both local and international.
totally. So how have they managed to stand out? How do they hold their own against those big international brands with their massive marketing budgets? What's their secret sauce?
Well, I think a big part of it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that deep understanding of their target market.
That local touch. They're not just guessing what Pakistani women want. They know it instinctively.
Exactly. They offer that hyper-specific inclusivity and affordability that a lot of bigger brands, even with the best intentions, just don't always get right. Luscious doesn't have to guess. They just know.
It's like they're speaking directly to their audience, and that's powerful. But Luscious isn't content with just conquering the local market, are they? I mean, they've gone global.
Oh, absolutely. They're not just dipping their toes in the water. They're making waves internationally.
Right. I remember seeing them featured in Vogue, Allure, Glamour, all those major magazines.
They're getting a lot of well-deserved recognition. And it shows that their message, their ethos, it's resonating far beyond Pakistan's borders.
It's that universal desire for inclusive, ethically made, high-quality beauty products. They've tapped into something special. And their global expansion is strategic, too. They're
Yeah.
in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, India, and they're killing it online.
Exactly. They're choosing their markets carefully, targeting those with strong potential for growth and a customer base that aligns with their brand values.
It's smart. But as with any successful brand, especially in a fast-paced industry like beauty, there's always that question of what's next.
Mhm.
It's true. It's like, how do you stay ahead of the curve when the curve is constantly changing, right?
Right. And that's where I think Luscious's ability to adapt comes into play. Like, they're not afraid to try new things, evolve with the market.
Yeah. Their move into skincare, that was a big step, and it seems to be paying off.
Oh, absolutely. Skincare is huge right now, and it makes perfect sense for a brand like Luscious, which is all about, enhancing natural beauty, promoting self-care.
Totally. So where do you see Luscious going from here? What's next for them?
That's a great question. Well, one word comes to mind: sustainability.
Okay. Yeah, that's huge right now.
Yeah. It's more than just a trend. It's becoming a non-negotiable for so many consumers, especially in the beauty space. And I think Luscious has a real opportunity to become a leader in sustainable beauty within their market and globally.
I can see that. They already have that cruelty-free vegan ethos. It's like the foundation is already there.
Exactly. It's about building on what they've already established, maybe exploring more ethically sourced ingredients, looking into local sourcing options for their packaging. Things like that can make a big
It's
difference.
about walking the walk, right?
Absolutely. And I think it would resonate strongly with their customer base who are already so invested in their brand values. But of course, we have to acknowledge the realities of operating in a market like Pakistan.
Yeah, it's not always easy. Right.
Economic and political instability, those factors can create challenges for any business, no matter how successful.
So how does a brand like Luscious navigate those choppy waters? How do they maintain that upward trajectory when there's so much uncertainty?
I think a lot of it comes down to resilience, that ability to adapt and persevere. They've weathered storms before, and they've come out stronger each time.
They've got that fighting spirit.
They do. And, I think their strong customer loyalty plays a huge role in their success. People believe in Luscious. They trust the brand. And that kind of loyalty is invaluable, especially in uncertain times.
It's that deep connection they've built with their community. It goes way beyond just buying lipstick. It's about shared values, shared experiences.
Exactly. Luscious has created something really special. It's that emotional connection that sets them apart.
It's been so inspiring to learn more about Luscious Cosmetics, their incredible journey. From their humble beginnings to their global success, they've really shaken up the beauty industry.
They've really raised the bar, haven't they?
They have. It's about more than just makeup. It's about challenging norms, embracing inclusivity, and staying true to your values. Luscious Cosmetics shows us that beauty can be a force for good in the world.
And that's a powerful message.
It really is. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Luscious reminds us that true beauty isn't about fitting into a mold, it's about breaking the mold, embracing what makes you unique, and using your voice to lift others up. That's the Luscious legacy, and it's one that I think will continue to inspire for years to come.